Hello everyone. This is going to be my first ever YouTube video that I'll be uploading. So, some introduction about myself. I am in my second year of college and an UPSC aspirant. My exam year will be 2022 and 2023. This is just a small initiative that I wanted to take for so long. I am going to teach the social science subject and mathematics. Social science includes history, geography and political science. I'll be starting with class 6 now. Also will be posting some day in my life video as in how I prepared for the UPSC exams. So let's not waste any more time and let's start with the video. So basically I'll be starting with the history class 6 book. This book is followed by my brother's school. So this is a social science history book which is based on the latest NCERT syllabus and CBSE guideline. This book is written by Ratna Sagar. I hope you can see. Yes. So I'll be starting with the first chapter, that's studying the past. So basically here this is just a simple introduction of history. So what are the things that we are going to read here is why study history, all the time frames that we have in history. Okay, different time frames include prehistory, proto-history. We have history, we have different dates in history. We have the geographical framework as in how geography helped in developing or making history. Different sources of history. Now sources of history is a very important fact. Sources of history basically means how do we know all these that we have learned for years and that we will be learning for years, for the coming years. So how do we basically get the sources? So there will be different sources, archaeological and literary sources, and I won't be teaching directly from the book. I have my written notes, so I believe that will be very that will be a better way to teach, because you know many people, many schools for CBSE follows NCERT, direct NCERT books, but since my brother's school is following this updated guideline book by Ratna Sagar, so I will go ahead with the notes that I have prepared for you all. Okay, so here is the notes. I hope my handwriting is clear for you all. Okay, so the first very important thing is meaning of history. So what does history means? So the first thing that we can easily understand is the word history, okay, has a hidden word, that's story. So what about story? Story of people who lived in the past. Okay, now all our lives, at least for me in my school years, I had this one question. Okay, I used to ask my teachers that, teacher, why do we study history? Okay, you know, for me initially history was not a subject that interests me. I was fond of maths, also political science and geography to some extent, but history was something that I always had this question that what will I do, knowing the names of the kings and knowing how and where and when they fought wars. So what do I do with that? But today when I study for UPSC, one thing that I realize that it is very important to know the past, that had made the present we are living right now. Okay, so why study history? The study of past is very important to know, to understand the present scenario that we are dealing in life right now. Okay, also it is very important to understand history, to understand past, so that we can calculate the steps in the future that we are going to take. So I'm giving you a very small example. So you go to a coffee house, okay, and the waiter gives you the menu card. So the last time you visited the cafe, the coffee house, you had their cold coffee. Okay, you did not like the taste of that coffee. So today, will you order the same coffee, that same cold coffee? Definitely not, because you already have a past experience in which you ordered the cold coffee and you did not like the coffee. So this time when you go, the present time, you will be ordering something else, and also in the future you won't be ordering the cold coffee because you did not like it in the past. You will be ordering something new. So this is not a very bookish example. I'm just trying to make it a little interesting, so I just gave you an example of food because I love food. So next we will be reading about the time frame. Okay, so the time frame we will be reading them in a more detailed manner. Okay, when you go in the latter chapters. So for now we're just gonna read about the three time frame, that is the prehistory, the proto-history and the history, in a very very short way. So what is the prehistoric time frame or the prehistory? Prehistory is the time when writing was not invented. So writing not invented indicates that there are no written records. Now, if there are no written records, how do we know about the prehistoric time period? We know about the prehistoric time periods completely based on archaeology, the archaeological sources. Okay, now these archaeological sources, these are basically certain physical remains like the pots, jewelry, tools and coins that are found, that are dig deep and found by the archaeologists. Okay, so you will be remembering this, that prehistory is a time period when writing was not invented, which indicates that there were no written records. Now we will be jumping straight to proto-history. So proto-history is the time period where there are few written records. Okay, there are few written records, but still the main sources. What did we read here in prehistory? Archaeology was the only source. Only source का मतलब क्या है? Without archaeological sources, there are no sources in the time period of prehistory. Okay, but in proto-history, archaeology is the main source. Apart from this main sources, we have a lot of, not a lot of, but a few written records. Okay, so an example of this proto-historic time period, okay, you can get a fill in the blanks for your exams. For this is, I'm not talking this for an UPSC aspirant, I'm talking this completely for a class 6 student. Okay, so this is Indus Valley Civilization. So this is a classic example of proto-historic time period. Now we will be moving to the history. So history is the period after invention of writing. So one thing we can easily tell is that हमको हिस्ट्री में बहुत कुछ पढ़ना है. ओके, हिस्ट्री सिंस वी हैव अ लॉट ऑफ राइटिंग्स, सो देयर इज अ लॉट टू स्टडी अबाउट हिस्ट्री. ओके, मोर देन द prehistory or the proto-history time. So history, there are early writings. Where are the early writings? Not in normal paper like ours. The early writings are there in rocks, pillars, copper plates, clay, tablets, palm leaves and barks of birch trees. So birch trees is a kind of, is a category of trees. Okay, so here are major writing sources found. Okay, now another very very important thing that we should know is the dates in history. Okay, so what do we mean by dates in history? I am sure that you have seen these words written besides the dates, that are BC, BCE, AD, CE. So you must be confused at what are those. Okay, so BC means before Christ, before the birth of Christ. AD means Anno Domini or Year of Lord. Okay, so basically AD starts after Jesus Christ was born. Okay, now okay, one common one common mistake that I have seen many of you make is that you think that since BC is meant for before Christ, AD is after death of Christ. No, that is very, very wrong concept. Okay, so remember, AD means Anno Domini or year of Lord, and BC means before Christ. Now, recently, not recently as in 2 years back, after this BC AD were expressed, there were many archaeologists or historians who did not wanted to accept uh, a religion coming in between history dates. So when we talk about before Christ, we basically talk about Jesus Christ, okay, and we also talk about Christianism, okay. So that is the reason BC was later expressed in before Common Era, and AD was expressed as C, Common Era. This was only and only because there were many people who had this notion that we don't want to make these dates have a religion concept. Okay, so BC and BCE means the same. Similarly with AD and CE, they mean the same. Now I'll be giving you a small example. You know, if you are asked to know about the time difference between two given dates, so here you see in my example that I have two dates. One is 500 BCE and one is 200 BCE. So you see that BCE matlab the denominations, okay, the denomination, whatever you say, are same. This has BCE, this also has BCE. So if these expressions are same, we are going to subtract both the dates and get the years. So you see 500 BCE minus 200 BCE is 300 years. There is a 300 years of difference. But if the denominations are not same, see, one is BCE and the other one is CE, that's 500 BCE plus 200 CE, we will be adding both of them to get the years. Okay, I hope it's clear till here. So now I'll be moving to the second important part. Okay, let me, okay, that is how geography had played an important role in history of India. So we know that India has diverse geographical features. So what do we mean by these features? We have high mountains, we have hot desert, we have fertile rivers, river valleys, and numerous rivers. So everything we have in India only. So there are a lot of diverse geographical features that India has, and that is the reason India is so much of an attractive place, because if you come here, you can go to the north and find Himalayas, okay, you can go and see hot desert near Rajasthan, you can go and have a look at the cultural diversities also. So there are a lot of attractive things that India has to offer. Now we know that Himalayan mountains in the north act as a natural barrier between India and Central Asia. It is a natural barrier and not a man-made one. Now, passes in these mountains have acted as routes of contact since ancient times, bringing new ideas, customs, and habits that make our culture richer. See, one thing that you need to understand, that if there is exchange of people, supposingly now you fly to maybe USA. So being from Kolkata, I'm from Kolkata, so we usually eat rice. Rice is our staple food for the majority of Bengali, and we call it Bangali and not typical Bengali, so whatever. So for us, we use our hands to have rice, okay. But if you go to US or any other western countries, you will see that they usually have their food with a spoon. So that's the difference. So now if a Britisher comes to my home, and although I'm introduced with spoons and cutleries already, but if he comes and he makes me give this concept that we use the spoons to have food, I'll be getting a new kind of custom, a new kind of idea, or maybe they come to us and they say that we use toilet papers, why don't you use it? Okay, so that's a new idea that we will having. So any kind of exchange of people, or any kind of coming, if different people come across the world in our India, we will be having new ideas, new customs and habits that will make our culture richer. Because now with the custom, or with the let's say with the habit of eating food with hands, we are also including the habit of having it with the spoons. So we are being richer. Okay, or supposedly in Kolkata we have our biggest festival, that's Durga Puja. So during Durga Puja, Durga Puja is a festival for us. Now we also celebrate what? We also celebrate 25th December. Okay, we also celebrate New Year. So those are the things that makes our culture richer and richer every day. Okay, now this thing we also need to know that supposingly I am giving you 10,000 rupees and I am telling you that where do you want to go? Do you want to go to a place which has an unfavorable environment, like maybe a desert? Do you want to go to a desert, or do you want to go to a sea? Many of you will be preferring sea. Okay, why? Because deserts are very hot, and the environment is not that favorable, especially in the summer season. It's not that favorable to go to a desert, so you'll be choosing a sea. So places with unfavorable environment are sparsely populated. Sparse matlab it's less populated, leading to a culture which is not affected. Now even if you go to Rajasthan, they are still their culture is not that effective. But if you go to a place like Kolkata, Mumbai, there are different cultures. Their cultures are more diverse, because more people will come and stay there, and that is the reason they are going to adapt a lot more cultures. So places with unfavorable environment are sparsely populated, leading to a culture which is not affected by external influence. External influence मतलब बाहर से अगर कोई influence आता है तो outside influence. And contrary to this, favorable environment places have a more diverse culture. Okay, I'm almost done with 50% of the chapter, left with two important topics. One is Indus Ganga plain, and about the different sources of, not this one, and different sources of history. I will be uploading both of them in my next video, because otherwise this video will be very long. So if I refer to the book, just a minute. So if I refer to the book, I have completed topics like why study history. I've completed topics like why study history. Time frame I've completed dates in history. I have completed the geographical framework, but half, not about the Indus Ganga plain. So I'll be starting from here in my next video, and I'll be uploading very soon. Thank you for your patient hearing. Hope you have a great day ahead.